Welcome to Runes Reforged. So you're having a tough time in the new preseason trying to find something fun and interesting. Well here, let me help you out. How about you pick Rakan Toplane, go Aftershock, Font of Life, Conditioning, Revitalize, Celestial Body, and Minion Dematerializer. Enough of my talking, let's show you why. As Rakan Toplane, you're going to want to go fairly aggressive. Against a melee matchup, you want to go more aggressive unless they are heavy early damage. Say for some reason Kha'Zix Toplane, Kayn Toplane, something like that. But otherwise, you're going to want to go aggressive. You just want to go more or less lane control farm. Don't worry about taking damage like I do in this game, because you have your passive and you can use your Q to deal damage and get sustain back, as well as using Doran Shield to health regen really nicely. Try not to go in too hard though, because you still are kind of squishy. You don't have that much MR or armor due to the rune changes, but I would still play generally more aggressive. Although try not to get ganked like I did in this game. That was a bit embarrassing, but it happened, and now all of you are learning from it. Traveling on into the mid game now, you're just going to want to play more as a engage tank. You don't want to be like playing too far up or too far back, I guess. As Rakan, you have a really good way of getting in and getting out, so it's really nice for you just to go in, and then because of your tankiness, you can just kind of soak up some damage and then get out. You are all about engage and stall. You're not much about damage, even though you can deal some. So from mid game to late game, your role doesn't change that much. You get in there, you disrupt, you deal damage a little bit, and then you just kind of fall back and peel. That's your only real job. You don't have to deal the massive damages. You don't have to be like a Fizz top lane where your job is to stay in the backline and deal damage and kill somebody. Your job in that is just to go in, engage, start a fight, and then peel. As for build, I know I said you don't deal that much damage, but generally you still want to build a Triforce because it does offer you a lot of in-combat stats that will help you in extended fights. So definitely go for Triforce somewhere in your build. It doesn't have to be first item, but I generally get it, first or second item. After that, it's kind of like what's your lane matchup against is what your first resistance item should be. So in this game, it was against Riven, so I got a Sunfire Cape. My next item would have been MR, so probably some type of MR item. I wasn't quite sure yet. So you first just build Triforce summon your build, then build against your lane matchup, then you build against what their highest damage is. Make sure in that you're building health, you're building lots of MR and armor. Aftershock will give you a lot of those, but it doesn't buff up anything if you don't have any of those stats. Just keep in mind what the enemy team's main damage is, and then play around that. Items that are very good situationally are Locket of the Iron Solari. That's a good item just to get situationally if you need the extra peel on your team. Like you don't have much of a enchanter bot lane, it's more like a double engage. Then Locket might actually be a good item on top lane. Another item that's good on Rakan, especially in the engage, is Gargoyle Stoneplate. When you get in there, you're right in the middle of the team, pop Stoneplate, and you will live for ages. Stoneplate plus Locket would be a really good combo to get, especially if you need peel, or in general if you just need extra tankiness. Those are very situational items. I generally don't get them because having the raw stats is better than, having to rely on this one combo that only comes up every once in a while. Especially in lower elo when picks happen a lot more often, you're going to want the extra upfront stats compared to the more team fight heavy style. Thanks for watching the first episode of Runes Reforged on Rakan Toplane. Hopefully this can help you spice up your preseason a little bit if it was getting a little bit down. Again, thank you all for watching. I am The Friendly Gamer, and I see you all later.